is the one, the only Code Lizard.
Whoa. Looks like the races have started. We should be seeing that come up on the stream in just a moment.
All right, we got a fun one for you today. This is Keysanity. That means that everything's randomized, including the keys, but not the lamp,
Are you sure
apparently.
that's randomized?
No, I don't know. Well, I can't confirm that it's randomized until I get another chest.
Well, we're all heading to Hyrule Castle, so I guess we'll find out shortly. We got Numberplay and Greg heading in the front. All of them are heading in the front door.
Our 4 racers going clockwise, by the way. Numberplay, dustsen, Reg, and Solski. Oh, okay. That's on the sword, so that is in fact randomized.
Both Uncle and the chest at the side have a piece of heart.
No keys so far. In case you have never seen Keysanity before, all of the keys in the are out of their dungeons. They are in chests everywhere.
Yep, this results in some interesting random routing when you try and explore Eastern Palace, for example, and you start finding keys to, say, Desert Palace.
Oh, and the compass for Tower of Heron. The compass will enable tracking in the dungeons for how many chests there are open, etc.
As well as revealing the total number of chests in that dungeon.
Correct.
Alright, we're going on some different routes here. Looks like Numberplay is heading for Shahazarlow's house. That's a pretty good move. There's 3 items there in the back wall if you have some bombs.
Dustin looks like
he doesn't at the moment.
Dustin looks like he's heading up to Lost Woods and the Kakariko route, very popular route. Solski and Reg both heading down south.
Numberplay is asking Sahasrarlow where the green pendant is apparently at Thieves Town.
Did he have no bombs? He had no bombs.
We have a small key at the Lumberjack Cave. That's gonna be haunting. Because we don't even know what key it is or if it's important.
Oh no, yeah.
That is a new level of anxiety from that cave. And Solski went in the library. That also is a key on the library ledge. And the back of the bar has a piece of heart. There's nothing terribly important there. Oh, but we have the Ether Medallion in the Lost Woods at the Mushroom Spot. That's a good find.
That
probably
could be important. And we're gonna get some bomb grinding from Solski and the mirror out in the water from Numberplay.
Riggs checking the chicken house. We have a full heart. Looks like Solski is raiding the little shack for some bombs.
So far, hardly any keys.
Well, there have been a couple, just not any they can reach.
Nope.
Dustsen is heading into the Thieves' Hut in Kakariko. No bombs, though. Might have to come back for it later.
Oh, the compass of Thieves Town is in there.
Yep, nothing else of particular importance, just some red rupees. But we're gonna have to find out what's behind that wall later on, it looks like. Meanwhile, Numberplay is checking the race. It is just a bomb capacity upgrade.
Ooh, and the well has a small key to pod.
Dustin's going to go buy some bombs. That should carry him for a while.
And the blue mail. In the well, Solski picking it up, Reg not far behind him.
Pretty good find early on.
Very nice when you don't have very many hearts. Well, this is a very key-free early game still. I mean, we're talking maybe 1 or 2 keys picked up.
Yep.
No
Rig
big
also has
keys.
the map of Swamp Palace. In Keysanity, the maps will reveal what crystal or pendant is at that dungeon if you check the map. That's not information you have anymore.
Nope.
And the music in the dungeons is also random, so you can't simply tell by an audio spoiler. We have Dustsen and Numberplay, frame for frame, going down these stairs. Dustsen's coming back with some bombs to check this item. We'll see if it was worth it.
That's the map to Ganon's tower, which is actually not.
Yeah,
super
unfortunately
great
that one
for
doesn't
crystal.
help, because we know what's at Ganon's tower. The answer is blue balls.
The answer is mostly sadness.
The bottle vendor has the map of Desert Palace, and that is Crystal 2 at Desert Palace.
That is an expensive map.
Dustsen and Numberplay screen for screen again. Or they were. Looks like Numberplay doesn't have any bombs to check the back wall. Not too much money at this stage either. Nobody's found any rupees more than 20 at a time.
An actually pretty stingy seed so far.
I'm sure it will change its mind eventually. No bottles either, which means they'll have to come back to see what the sick kid has. Looks like Reg is now heading down to the dam. He's going to find himself a mirror there.
Yes, he is. But unfortunately, with no Dark World access, that's currently not useful.
Although the mirror is still useful, even without Dark World access, you can delete blocks that you're in the way.
But in terms of progression chests, you can't get to anything quite yet. You can, if you can look at the lamp, you can get up to Tower Hera, I suppose.
But they do have the lamp.
Right. At what point do you start walking in the dungeons and just hoping?
For me, usually after I've checked the Kakariko area, and at very least, Sahasra'ul as well, Northern Hyrule. There's a few more out-of-the-way caves you can check, but it starts becoming too much of a sacrifice of time.
I usually try to see if, the seed tells me where to go. Like, this seed is now loudly saying, go to Tower of Hera.
Well, potentially. I don't think they have the gloves yet. Looks like Reg is going to check the mini Moldern Cave. There's 5 items in there. Yes. Hopefully one of them will be good.
A little rough right now with no real offensive weapons other than bombs.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit tough.
And you can get a little screwed. But Reg handles it
very nicely, clears out that cave without much trouble.
Like a champion. And here's our 5 items. There's a lift upgrade. Now go to Hera.
A glove, a small key to Turtle Rock.
Sword.
How was that? Sword, okay. A small heart, and a big key to Eastern
Palace. Oh, maybe you walk into Eastern then. So you can now open up
that would
every
get you everything except the boss item at that point.
Right.
Because they have the lamp, so they don't need to worry about that room. Reg heads back for that 8-bomb drop, but unfortunately it's outside of bounds, so he can't pick it up. Solski is already in Eastern Palace, but
no
he
big
doesn't
key.
have the big key, so he'll have to bail out a little bit early. Reg is heading around to check the ice cave.
Oh, there's another lift upgrade in Eastern Palace.
Ah, very nice. So they'll have Titan's Mitts fairly early on. That will get them Dark World access, so that mirror will come in handy.
No Moon Pearl quite yet.
Alright, what do we have at the ice cave? Because this is quite a detour to make for one chest. And it's just 20 rupees. That's unfortunate.
It's a popular place to put in the logic an important item. So I think it's worth walking around for personally.
Yeah, at that point, when hadn't really found too much in the way of progression other than the glove, it's a pretty good idea to check it. Solski, meanwhile, finds the compass to Turtle Rock. Reg is heading to check the back of the castle sewers. There's 3 chests there.
It's a good check to make.
Yeah, it's nice and quick.
Remember, keys and pots on enemies are where they originally were in vanilla, so this key on the skeleton in Eastern Palace will absolutely be there.
Unfortunately, nothing much in the back of the sewers, just red rupee, heart container, and some bombs. Heart container obviously is useful, but it's not progressive.
I wouldn't be surprised if Reg heads for Eastern right now. Oh, nope, he's not going to do that. He's going to do the escape.
Yeah.
I guess the mirror? Yeah. So that's not a bad play either.
I guess Reg is heading for castle basement.
Yes.
So what Solski is doing here is a damage boost. He gets hit by an enemy and then uses the iframes to go through that little circle of anti-fairies. Unfortunately, all he got for his efforts was a 20 rupee, but he got the damage boost quite nicely. Numberplay heading up towards Eastern Palace.
And dustsen heading, using a fake flippers glitch. That is a glitch where you, kind of walk off a pixel, and before the game can realize that you're supposed to drown, you change transition. Hey!
Before you land in the water, and then 1 frame later you make the screen transition, and that will confuse the game into thinking that you're swimming when you're actually swimming illegally. The game will find out if you get hit while you're in the water. In the vanilla game, that will actually soft lock the game. The randomizer is changed so that in this case it will actually instantly kill you, so that soft lock does not happen.
Well spoken, Code Lizard. Much better spoken than what just happened to me.
It happens to all of us. Words are difficult sometimes.
Words are very hard.
Dustsen heading to the Hyrule basement. He's going to be very disappointed in about 15 seconds. No, he's going to be very disappointed right now because he doesn't have any bombs.
Whoops.
Reg is reached the Zelda's cell. He just has to get past this guard. Fortunately, with 6 hearts, that's not as much trouble as he normally is. And he, since that's an enemy drop, he always has the big key. Just a bomb capacity upgrade.
Unfortunately, nothing useless. Magic mirror back up. We'll check out the dark room.
Yep, there's 1 more chest in there. I think that's going to have to be the Hyrule key, isn't it? Because he hasn't found the key, but he didn't open the door at the back of the sewers.
Well, no, because it's Keysanity, so it could be anywhere.
Ah, yes, quite. You're right, correct. So definitely worth it to go check that chest, then he can just mark this area as done and get on.
Solski about to have a very fruitful Moldorm Cave.
Numberplay heading through Eastern Palace. Unlike Solski, he does have the big key, so he'll be able to go a little further and check what's in the big chest. Reg finds the map of Hyrule Castle.
Oh, that's... Oh.
That is extremely unhelpful.
That's rough. So gold gloves now.
Yeah, very early Titan's Mitts. That does open up a few options. They can get into the Dark World above Kakariko. That opens up Thieves Town and Skullwood, sorry.
Sadly, with no Moon Pearl, they can't do too much with that at the moment.
That is correct. But if they go to east side of Death Mountain, they would be able to get into the Dark World there and go to the Super Bunny Cave, where the name would actually be relevant.
I don't believe they have a way to get there at the moment, though.
No, they would need Hookshot or Hammer.
Ooh, the crap item is full magic, by the way.
That's nice.
That's not a bad pickup.
So what do you think? Is that small key at the Lumberjack Cave going to come back to haunt them later?
I would say no. It's most likely Ganon's Tower, and you don't need nearly most of the keys for that. Just by sheer numbers, the most keys are in Ganon's Tower.
That's true.
Reg heading up to Tower of Hera. I like this play a lot. You probably won't need a small key. You have the big key to proceed.
Looks like Number is heading for Death Mountain. That'll be a good move. And Reg is already there, returning the old man to his home, but just gets some pocket change for his trouble.
Yeah, you gave him a tip.
Uber just wasn't the same in those days. Dustsen here using a trick. You can kill those skeletons before they appear, which makes the door open faster. Just a green rupee on top of Spectacle Rock. That's not very good. Inside of Spectacle Rock is a map to somewhere.
Oh, do you go get that? The answer is no.
Not for Reg, anyway.
At least not now. Maybe you get it on the way back.
Reg wisely avoiding that green rupee and the time it would cost him to pick it up.
Unfortunately, he's going to lose a whole lot more time to this dead rock.
Oh, that's always annoying. They love to get in your way. So he's heading into Hera. He does have the lamp, so he should be able to full clear it if necessary.
He needs the key. Oh, and the Moon Pearl.
Oh, well. It's in the right dungeon, just lying around on the floor this time.
He would need the small key for Tower of Hera, which he does not yet have.
True, yes. And the big key to actually go very far in it.
He has the big key.
Oh, we found a small key to Misery Mire.
It's useful. Oh, does he?
Looks like Numberplay got the map. Didn't quite check what it was. It was the map of Eastern Palace, which is not particularly useful, but it might tell them if they need to bother going back to defeat the Armos Knights.
Am I wrong about this? I thought Reg had picked up the big key from Tower.
I'm not sure.
Maybe that was Solski.
Solski ethering at the start of the room to pick up the green guard and throw him at the ball and chain guard. There's a strat I've never seen before. 10 out of 10 originality on that one. Numberplay showing that when Moogle is changed, he turns into Sealies. So we must be playing as Kutan then. So there we go, Reg learning that Thieves Town has the green pendant. Doesn't require him to pick up the map, just has to go talk to Sahasrah, who's probably on the way to 3 chests anyway.
Meanwhile, Solski's going to climb Death Mountain. Burn his Moon Pearl.
I guess Numberplay never went to the mini Molder.
No, he did not. He has no sword.
Having to use bombs to hit these switches.
Reg heading in the Eastern, again with the big key this time.
Solski getting quite trolled by that dead rock. It's directly in his way. Now he has to dodge the sky cabbages for a little while.
Starting to run out of places to check. You're going to have to start forcing your way into places like Agina's Cave.
Yeah, that's an option. trying to think if there's anywhere else that the Moon Pearl might open up.
With the gold gloves? Oh yeah, the Moon Pearl opens up
Oh.
Dark World, of course.
Yeah, and with the Titansmiths, they can go to the to Thieves Town.
The Village of Outcasts.
Yep, there's quite a few chests in there. There's a couple of houses. There's the dungeon itself, of course. There's the chest game and the digging game. And not too far away, you can go to the Dark World version of the Sacred Grove. Oh no, Numberplay runs out of bombs with one Moldworm left, and doesn't have a sword, so he can't use ether.
Solski earning the map to Eastern Palace inside the Spectacle Rock.
Solski is attempting a bomb jump to get back across Spectacle Rock and manages it quite well. That was a glitch you can do where if you place a bomb at the very edge and position yourself correctly, the bomb will knock you back over the gap and prevent you from falling in there, where you might very well see a few more of those during this race.
I would almost count on
it. Dustsen picked up the Master Sword at some point. That means he could go into Aghanim's Tower if he really wants to find out what that key is.
The Master Sword, by the way, was in the big chest on the Eastern Palace.
Ooh. It's gonna sting to go back for if you entered it without the big key.
Well, it depends on whether you need this for a dungeon or not, for a crystal or not. And the only one who could know that is Solski, because Solski picked up the map for Eastern Palace. But he hasn't done the check yet, so we don't know.
Numberplay returning for round 2 with the mini Moldworms. This will be quite worthwhile since he won't have to throw bombs around anymore. Solski might be heading for Thieves Town. Yes, he is. So we'll get to see what's hanging out in here.
Oh man, and Numberplay having some trouble with the mini Moldworms, but finally getting through.
He'll be well rewarded.
Very happy.
Solski is heading up to Skull Woods first. Doesn't have the fire rod, so he can't completely clear it. But there's a few easily reachable chests in here.
And in VT27, there tends to be items in those chests very, very often. They're just early chests in the logic to get to. Well, not so much there. What's killer is you can't just count 2 chests and leave here. You don't know where the keys went.
Yeah, there is a chance that the key might be in its own dungeon. When that happens, you'll be able to know because you won't get a text box for it at all. Solski's going to double back here to go to the other room you can drop down into. Normally, there's a guaranteed key in here, but with this being Keysanity, it could be anything.
No, I believe this is still a guaranteed key.
Because you could be locked in here.
You could be soft locked, yeah.
Alright, I stand corrected. In chat saying that you think Eastern Palace is crystal.
Okay.
Ooh, he gets the red mail in the Skullwoods chest. So, good defensive upgrades so far.
Not bad offensive upgrades either. Our Master Sword this early is pretty nice too. I don't believe Solski is one of the people who has it yet, but...
Reg grabbing that red mail as well. Come in handy.
This room is annoying to do when you do not have any sort of chain.
This normally has the big key. Instead, it's just a small heart.
That's all you can do right now in this dungeon.
Yep, he would need the fire rod to get into the back half of it.
One thing you would consider doing if you had the book is maybe you would go over to that end just to check out the pedestal.
Yeah, it's better to know sooner rather than later if it's going to be pedestal seed.
Yep, I can confirm that the Eastern Palace does indeed have a crystal.
Oh, Reg gets grabbed by the Wallmaster trying to line up that statue.
Oh.
Fortunately, that's not very much of a setback. We're getting more messages from chat saying the Turtle Rock has the blue pendant and the swamp has a regular crystal. Solski's checking the cave behind the graveyard. Interesting, but could be something good in here.
Might be on the way to doing other checks like Boast of Eastern and Eastern Dark World, I should say.
Yeah, he could just loop it all the way around. Just a small shield in here, but since the shields are progressive, it'll potentially let him get something better later on.
Oh no, he can't. No hook shot, no flippers.
Ah, you're right. So he's heading back, maybe to Palace or Village of Outcasts.
Wonder if he realized that halfway through and just said, "Well, I'm kind of already here." That's not the greatest time to check that chest.
Yes. He probably should have gone up to check the bumper cave ledge. He can usually see what item is up there. Or maybe he did. He missed it.
Yeah, he might have.
Solski is checking the C-shaped house. Find out what's in here. Just a piece of heart.
This is still a very stingy seed so far.
Yeah, the shield, the mirror and the pearl are good for exploration, but they don't really have anything to complete dungeons with yet. And they can do Thieves' Town potentially, but we already know that it just has a pendant. And they can't fully clear it without the hammer.
I think you might as well go ahead and take a look. It's not a long dungeon.
Numberplay checking that releasing room to grab a full magic refill.
Solsti's going to complete the Village of Outcasts before going to Thieves' Town.
Reg gets a small key to Dark Palace at the beginning of Thieves' Town. There's 4 easily accessible chests here. And Solski going to the chest game.
You might consider doing Thieves' Town even just for the green pendant for the extra item.
Yep, that's true.
It's not like it's particularly long to do. You don't really need to worry about having offense.
Yep, since blind takes equal damage from all swords, it doesn't really matter whether you have the fighter sword or the butter sword. There's nothing of value at the chest game, unfortunately, just a green and a red rupee, which doesn't even pay for the cost of the game, I think.
Extremely stingy sealed seed.
Oh, the big key of Ganon's Tower.
That's not a joke. Alright, so if you had guessed the 4th chest of Thieves' Town, you're today's winner.
Yeah, just, pick a number between 1 and 216 or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Unfortunately, you can't check any more Thieves' Town, but 4 chests was good, and that's a big load off their minds to know that they have Ganon's Tower key. Or Reg, at least. I'm sure the rest will find it eventually.
Solski just found out. Yeah, because what that means is that you can literally, if you're in pure go mode in Ganon's Tower, you can walk down, pick up the 1 key from the pot, and go climb on up.
Yep, because you do need at least 1 small key, unless you're feeling really lucky. But there is that guaranteed key in the pot. Looks like Solski is going to go check the digging game, Numberplay as well. And Reg is going to return the Toadsmith first.
Oh, our tracker is 8 Chirality. By the way, I want to point out our trackers. The Chirality and... Dawning Arc, I believe is our tracker.
Yes, Dawning Arc. They're doing an excellent job on tracking so far.
Chirality, pointing out that was the 46th chest open, I believe.
Very late digging game item here. Numberplay is having to dig up.
Oh, and the fire rod? I believe that was the fire rod out of
That looked like a small key to the Palace of Darkness from the digging game.
Yes, and Reg, I believe, out of the blacksmith got the fire rod. I can't tell if it was the fire or the ice rod.
Probably find out shortly. Solski is returning the Toadsmith right now.
Yep, it is in fact the fire rod.
That's good. Means they can go complete Skullwoods if they are so inclined.
Corral, the I know it was a joke, but you're supposed to play along. It makes you look better.
Numberplay checking the cave south of the grove. Didn't quite catch what it was, but I don't think it was anything important.
No, that was a small key to...
Ooh, the hammer from the tree kid, though. That's a good find.
Yes, it is. That pretty much opens up nearly the entire world.
Hookshot would still be very nice, but hammer is quite a good find.
The hammer opens up a lot of things the hookshot would, yep.
So, Palace of Darkness and Skull Woods have crystals 5 and 6, according to the bomb shop guy.
Very useful information. And we're going to check out the Cave of Mediocrity.
It may or may not be a hype cave. We'll find out shortly. Map to the Tower of Hera. Cave of Disappointment.
Cave of Mediocrity lives up to its name.
Looks like Reg has the purple chest with him. He's going to see if he can bring that down to the Desert Thief. Solski already there, so let's find out what's in it. The Red Cane!
My god!
That's an item that likes to show up very late, so it's nice to get it out of the way. It can save some time in a few dungeons as well, when you have it a lot earlier than you're supposed to.
Reg just kind of... Yes.
Numberplay is doing the Hammer Dash tutorial, but without the boots, so I'm gonna have to do it the slow way.
Am I incorrect, or did Reg just dumped the purple chest?
He might have. You can't carry it into a cave with you, so...
No, but I think he went... He did a screen transition with it off him.
Well, it might have been an accident. If he thinks there is nothing important in there, he's going to be sorely disappointed. Oh, no, it's still there.
Oh, it persists! I never knew that!
Maybe you have to go more than 2 screens away for it to go away.
Or maybe you have to do a Dark World, Light World transition.
That's also possible.
With you not holding it.
Probably not as helpful as it would have been if you had the boots, but good to know. Solski heading up to the northeastern Dark World. Looks like he's going to go check the pyramid item first. Reg is dodging vultures and sandmen to check what's on the ledge. It looked like a small key, didn't see it for very long.
There is a small key on the ledge, yes, I can confirm that.
There's quite a lot of keys that can be seen but not picked up. Pyramid item is just a bomb cluster, so no need to go grab it. Reg over at Agano's cave. Gonna steal Agano's retirement fund there. 300 rupees.
Well, the world's about to end, so it's more useful now.
It's to a worthy cause. Solski using the hammer here for some fights, since he still only has the fighter's sword, and the hammer has the same strength as the tempered sword. So a little slower to swing, but a good upgrade in power.
Numberplay heading all the way back to the castle. I have a feeling that there's going to be a point where this seed is going to start to move a lot.
Definitely, the way it's being so stingy early on, he'll probably start getting a lot of items.
Considering that they've been collecting big keys for a few dungeons, they have a bunch of Turtle Rock keys.
A lot of Dark Palace keys as well.
Which unfortunately is a pendant. And they have the big key for Ganon's Tower. Which basically cuts out half that dungeon right away.
Yeah, the entire basement is pretty much not required. Of course, there could be some items in there that would have been very nice to have much earlier in the game. They could very easily put something in there that he would have liked to have seen a long time ago.
Unless somebody is unwilling to do silverless.
That's quite true. You might need to go looking for silver arrows if you haven't practiced the strategy. Because as it turns out, you don't actually need silver arrows to defeat Ganon. It's much harder, though.
Yes, and with the Master Sword, it is incredibly hard, because you have to do it a lot.
Only spin attacks will damage Ganon, which makes for quite a long fight. Solski heading through Palace of Darkness now, going to use up all those keys he's been collecting.
He has 4 at the moment. Oh, the small key for Tower of Hera.
Yep, so you can check the basement there. Gonna turn around and go to the other side of this area.
Still 3 keys remain.
Small key to Turtle Rock, that's another one. So, yeah, you already used one of the Dark Palace keys, and there are 6 in existence, but if he uses good routing, he won't need to worry about the 6th one, which is likely why he came in here already.
Nope, there's good odds of picking up. There's not good odds, but decent enough odds to pick up one more in here, and more importantly, pick up an important item like the bow.
Well, he does need the bow to complete the dungeon, so it'd be good to find it here. Dustsen gonna go check out the view at the top of Hyrule Castle. Oh, he's gonna go fight Ganon. He must be concerned about what that small key
yes, alright.
Is.
Boy, that's against Tower Key. That's gonna be one unhappy person. Oh, and the Ice Rod.
Good find.
Not necessarily.
Rock is a pendant dungeon.
Yep.
So there's a question in chat. What exactly is Keysanity? In Keysanity, it's randomizer, except the keys are not necessarily found in their original dungeons. They can be found anywhere on the map. This also includes the big key, the map, and the compass.
Reg, meanwhile, is going to go complete Skull Woods. He can absolutely do that at this point. There is no key door blocking him from where he is.
Yep, it's always good to try and complete dungeons that you have all the items for, because you might find something good on the way. The boss drops are randomized, so you never know. You might get the bow from Mothula, for instance. Or he might get 20 rupees. We'll find out soon.
The problem is he doesn't have very much magic, and he only has the Master Sword. Mothula is no slouch.
Yes. You can get another small magic from one of the pots in the next room, but he'll have to finish the fight with the Master Sword. No bottles yet either. Numberplay up here at the eastern side of Death Mountain, having some trouble with the dead rocks. Just some blue rupees on the floating island, so don't need to worry about that.
Speaks to how stingy the sea has been. We're about 40 minutes in. We're at our first boss attempt.
Yep, and the thing you need to worry about with Mothula, which I believe is a Japan 1.0 exclusive glitch, that if you hit him into the spikes, the hit does not count.
This game is very well programmed.
But doesn't have too much trouble, completes Mothula with 2.5 hearts remaining, and gets some money for his trouble. But there we go, first crystal at 40 minutes and 28 seconds in.
That's the first boss killed in general.
Numberplay, meanwhile, in the Spiral Cave. There's an item here he can check out, and then progress to the lower half of the Eastern Death Mountain, which will get him the Hype Cave over there. Solski is going to turn in that key in the Tower of Hera. So we'll get to see some new locations here in just a second.
Red's gonna check out that one lonely chest at the beginning of second half of Skullwoods.
Yep, if you didn't know, there are pots under those ledges that block your path, so you can just wait there, pick them up, and keep going without having to go the long way around. Solski here, using the fact that if he has a block underneath him, he'll gain iframes, so this is a good time to just stretch his arms a bit, take a break.
Oh, that is the big key for Desert Palace.
Good find.
In the front of the back of Skullwoods.
You don't need the big key to complete the dungeon, but you do, of course, need it for the big chest.
No, you do need the big key to complete the dungeon, because the last door is a big door.
Oh yes, it's a different set of dungeons that don't need that.
You're thinking of Swamp.
Yes, that's correct. Swamp and Skullwoods, I believe.
Correct.
Since you fall into Mothula's dungeon, or arena. Didn't quite see what that first item is. We got a full container, some money, a small key to Skullwoods, and the flute. Excellent.
Well, the flute will open up the mire area. The question is whether it will open mire or not.
Well, they do have ether, so there's a 1 in 3 chance. Unfortunately, Numberplay fails the bomb jump. He was not quite far enough to the left, I believe. But
that is
not really worth trying again, so he's just gonna go around.
That is, in my mind, the hardest bomb jump in the game.
I think the one in the Palace of Darkness is hardest because you're on such a strict time limit with the clock.
Oh, no, yeah. That's excluding the jump, of course, yeah. I don't even consider that a normal bomb jump that people would attempt in a race.
Yeah, especially here, you would have to already have the big key and not want whatever's the 2 chests that are in the dark room. Looks like Numberplay is going to go check out Turtle Rock. He'll be able to find out what the medallion is here, so we'll see that in just a second.
While he does that, Diamond Punk asks the question, so is there a most efficient route that's pretty much the same regardless of the win condition? Absolutely not. This is randomizer. The route, the items you get pretty much dictate your route, almost. And it's ether, by the way.
Yeah, we do need ether to get into Turtle Rock, so between all the Turtle Rock keys and ether, this might very well be where the seed is intending for them to go next. They do have Samaria as well, and the Fire Rod.
I would
some of them have the Ice Rod as well.
I would personally describe randomizer almost like chess. You might have a set opener, and you might have a strategy, but you can't have a dead set route on how you're going to play the game until you know what's going on.
Yes, you have to adapt to what you find, especially in Keysanity. So we found the big key of Turtle Rock in the Super Bunny Cave, so it's a good thing that he left the dungeon to go get that.
And the fact that if you ever see high-level play, the times are often different by 30 to 40 minutes, and you'll see a lot of game 3s in best 2 of 3s. That speaks to how not solved Link to the Past Randomized is.
Yeah, so at some point you just have to make an educated guess based on what items you have on where you should go. Just either gamble or play the odds and hope it works out. And it usually doesn't.
Makes for, in my mind, the most interesting speedrun racing out there.
Small key to Ganon's tower found at the bottom left of Turtle Rock.
Well, it'll save Number from having to walk into that room.
You can just go straight to the top half. All of our races are in more or less the same area at this point.
Yeah, it's...
We got Numberplay up in Turtle Rock. The others are all on Eastern Death Mountain, either Light World or Dark World.
I wonder if there's anything important on Trinex.
Could be. They do... Well, Numberplay, unfortunately, is lacking the Ice Rod.
Yeah,
but,
Dustsen and Solski both have both rods, but Number and Reg do not, so that would be a very big difference if that was the case.
Numberplay having to do the intended strat for this room, unfortunately. If you have the hook shot, you can go up and hook yourself off of the platform and get sent back to the start of the room early, which will save you a bit of time. Just some money in the compass to Ice Palace for his efforts, though. He opts to save and quit.
Was he out of keys?
No, I think he still had 2 keys left. Maybe he wants to come back with the Ice Rod.
Yeah, perhaps. It's still a lot of chests to leave out there.
Yes, at the very least he could have gotten the Chain Chomp chest.
3 keys. I think he could have gotten almost to at least to the bridge, no?
Well, Solski is where he was a couple minutes ago, so perhaps we'll see what's beyond that door. Since Solski does have the Ice Rod. Numberplay cashing in the flute, gonna get himself a pet bird. He's gonna head to the Misery Lair area. There's a few chests in here that you can check. Got the cave on the left, that's one. Then the checkerboard cave, since he has the mirror. Misery Miner didn't quite catch what that was. It looked like ether. Yes, that was ether at Misery Mire, so they already have all the medallions they need. Finds the blue boomerang in the cave. That's not particularly useful, but not exactly useless either. Can be useful in some situations.
Solski is going to proceed into Turtle Rock with 3 keys. He can get to Trinex. He'll have to skip a chest. Oh, he doesn't.
Solski needs to be not as careful as normal here, since he has the red mail, but Chain Chomps do quite a lot of damage.
Chain Chomps hurt a lot.
Meanwhile, Numberplay is off to Desert Palace. Didn't quite catch what was on the lantern. It looked like a heart piece.
DP is certainly a crystal dungeon, and I don't know if it's totally doable. It got the big key at Desert Palace yet.
Numberplay off to check the checkerboard cave. Oh, a big key. Just to lead all the blocks in his way. The big key of Palace of Darkness.
That's
good find, good find. Let's
Turtle
see
Rock
if-
is in fact dependent, but there are a ton of chests in Turtle Rock.
And of course, Trinex's drop as well. Looks like Solski is going to check the Mimic Cave. Bit of an oddity. It's the only place in the light world, I believe, where you can find mimics. Hence the name.
Fortunately, only green mimics here, so you do not need the bow and arrow for this. Oh, and the
Ooh.
boots!
Very good find. Obviously, helps him go fast.
What are those?
Numberplay on his way to find some disappointment in the ice cave.
Reg and Solski still making their way to Turtle Rock. Now dustsen making it looks like a full clear of Turtle Rock.
Solski finds the small key to Desert Palace.
That's pretty significant. That'll actually probably unlock the rest of Desert Palace for Solski.
Yes, there only is the one key there, I believe. The rest of them are all under pots.
Solski down to 1 heart, to note. I don't believe anyone has gotten a single bottle yet.
No, not yet. Question in chat. Turtle Rock first. Yes, we have some people who have done Skullwoods, but a couple of our runners here are doing Turtle Rock first. Simply because the sea is being so stingy with items.
Very nice fake flippers from Numberplay.
See if Solski can get past all the eye bridge lasers here. He might go out the bottom door. Yeah, he's gonna go get that door for safety so that if he dies, he'll respawn here and not back at the side entrance. Good safety play, doesn't take very long. Play is fake flippered to the hobo.
Oh, those are the silver arrows. So,
Just a map of Turtle Rock from the hobo.
so on Laser Bridge, Solski gets the silver arrows.
Good find, if he had a bow.
Big key for Misery Mire. Great find.
Oh, it doesn't quite make the last dash. So
It's
it's
okay.
gonna be a death, but not a very costly one.
It's actually probably a death he was going to take very shortly after getting that chest anyway.
Turtle Rock Big Key has a small key to Ganon's tower, which they already have a couple of, so they're definitely set by now. The play having a little bit of trouble getting into this whirlpool. Must be altering the currents around it. Gets in there though. Must be heading up to Zora. He definitely does have the money for it.
Solski is going to finish Turtle Rock.
Might as well while he's here. It'd be quite a detour to come back for it.
Also going to be quite difficult considering he has the fighter's sword. It does have the hammer, but that's still a lot of menu boss.
The waterfall has the big key to Thieves Town in it. So Reg needs to be careful here. He's got 1 heart left. Yeah, grab some safety hearts at the side area. Yep, hammer, Trinex strats.
Kind of have to with the fighter's sword.
Yeah, for sure. Meanwhile, Numberplay is in Zora's area. Guess we'll see if there's anything good here.
In case you're aware, because this game is programmed so well, you can't actually pause the game to change your item when something is exploding.
Oh, he's out of magic.
He's out of magic.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. He might be able to get some magic and try again. There is that guaranteed full magic right outside Trinex. Reg also taking a death on the eye bridge lasers, but he took the safety door. Didn't quite catch what Zora had.
I did not either.
Zora was an Ice Palace small key. Alright. Don't think we've seen too many keys from Ice Palace yet.
I don't think we've seen any keys from Ice Palace yet.
Another death from Reg, unfortunate.
I think it's a laser bridge with an escape hatch, though. Yep.
Yeah. Even though they have the red mail, it's still quite a nasty area. Obviously, if they get hit by the lasers, there's a very good chance they will get knocked off as well, which is an extra heart of damage.
Lasers also don't care about the red mail.
Oh, Solski
Oh, Solski hitting again.
Nothing to do but get eaten, apparently. Let's see if he gives him another shot.
I hope for Solski's sake that Trinex has something important.
Or at the very least, something more than just a red rupee. He needs to be careful with these anti-fairies here.
Yeah, there's no real recovery in play right now for anybody. There's no bottles, no powder.
Yeah. Dustsen also heading up to Trinex, so we'll get to see two of those at the same time. Comment in chat pointing out that if Trinex does have something important, Rich will be sad since he did head in there and leave. Rich is checking the Bonk Cave next to Sanctuary. It is the bow! So now that Reg has the bow and silvers, that'll make a couple of bosses trivial. Certainly, second half of Helmsworth King. Solski gets through phase 1 of Trinex. So here at the very start, before Trinex starts actually bending and curving, you can hit his head to deal damage to him. You can see dustsen doing the same. Oh, and just a red rupee from Trinex and the blue pendant. That is extremely disappointing, especially for what Solski had to go through to get it. Ridge grabbing the small key in the library. Hyrule Castle. Meanwhile, Numberplay gets the map to Ice Palace from Thieves Town. Solski heading into the King's Grave. Map of Misery Mire. We already know what's in it, though. It's one of the crystals. 5 or 6. Saw a map check there, not for very long. It looks like Hera has a crystal. Ooh, the hook shot next to the definitely not blind in disguise at the back of Thieves Town. Did he check the Thieves Town big chest? I think he skipped it.
He's out of keys, so we can't check it.
Ah, yes, you're right. Thanks for that, blind. Fortunately, having the fighter's sword is not an obstacle to Numberplay
Nope.
here. Blind takes the same amount of damage no matter which sword you use on them, so it just needs 9 hits.
Is the pedestal still in play? Oh, finally a red potion for Reg.
It could be.
The
Wait,
flippers,
nobody's
right?
checked it yet. Nobody has the book.
Right. I'm just wondering if what could be there. The flippers, maybe?
Could be just about anything, really.
Well, no, because the only really required items are at this point are the flippers and I mean the bow is out, the hook shot's out.
Yeah, we already know Meyer has the same pendant. Sorry, medallion.
I think it's just the flippers.
Could be. Not very many safeties, though. Definitely low percent seed here. Reg going through Desert Palace. Gets a small key to Skull Woods.
Not actually useful at this point.
No, not particularly.
But he'll be able to finish up Desert Palace, no problem. Considering I believe he has the big key for it, and he does.
Yep, if you can get into the back here and you have the big key and a fire source, all the small keys you need are under these pots. Reg attempting a key dash there, but isn't quite on the right alignment. If you were on a boundary of, I believe, 4 pixels, an increment of 4 pixels away from a door, and you dashed at it with a key, you will go straight through it. Otherwise, you will bonk off.
It's very hard to do.
If you have something behind you you can back up against, you can line it up that way.
Yeah.
Dustsen here fighting Mothula. Out of magic, so he's going to go to fire or hammer strats.
It's just not easy with Mothula.
No, the hammer is a short reach, and Mothula's hitbox is quite large. Not to mention the moving floor, of course, makes it much worse, especially since you stopped moving for a while.
Reg will wrap up, and he will get the map to Dark Palace, but I believe we already know it's Crystal.
Dustsen playing it a little safe now, he's down to 1.5 hearts. Finishes him off, same time as Solski, so got a double Mothula kill here. Well, Reg gets a crystal out of Desert Palace.
That is pretty much a high five.
Yes, as noted by one of our trackers in chat, nobody killed more than 1 boss before the 1 hour mark.
That was Solski's and Dustsen's second boss each.
Did Dustsen finish out Agnim's tower? I don't think he did, because he wouldn't have had the keys for it. I don't think we've found any Agnim's tower keys yet. Yeah, because there is 1 single chest you can reach. Since in vanilla, both of the chests have keys. In fact, in most randomizer modes, there are both keys as well. It's only Keysanity where you might actually want to go into Agnim's tower. Reg clearing that room of Mystery Mire quite nicely, with good use of sword beams.
Yeah, Keysanity in general leads to a lot of searching early on, and then go a very quick go mode once it's discovered that you have what you need.
Yes, you tend to have to fight bosses later, so you end up with more items to fight them with. Reg finds the big key to Hera in Misery Mire.
Well, they can go get Hera right now then.
Yep, that's good, because we know it's a crystal engine. ridge here showing that only the very front of the fire snake actually hurts you. Dustsen grabbing the key off of the desert ledge. It was key to Misery Mire, so not too far from its intended location. Big key of Ice Palace in the compass chest in Misery Mire. Dawning Arc. Are you sure it's a pendant in the dungeon? I've lost track at this point, so I guess I will defer to trackers. Okay, good. Yeah, there was a map check not long ago. Bridge here. Similar to the block deletion, when a block is moving, you can shoot through it with the fire rod, as you've seen here, but you can also shoot through with the hook shot, which does have a couple uses.
So Misery is a pendant, then there's a really meaningful chance that the flippers can be on the pedestal.
True. They could also be from the boss reward. We haven't seen Vitreous' item yet, but we will hopefully soon. Rage gets the bug net. That would be great if they actually had a bottle to use it with.
A little bit of history. This is still an extremely young mode. I think it was just released with VT28 about 3 weeks ago.
I'd say, yeah, about a month or so ago. Not very long. Numberplay taking out landmolls here, fighting them. Fire Rod does pretty good damage. Not as good as Silver's, but he doesn't have either the bow or the Silver's, unlike the other three, which is quite unfortunate, but Fire Rod will work just fine. You can see the difference here. Solski, 1, 2, 3. Perfect shots.
Yep, those aren't the easiest shots in the world to hit either.
You have to get the timing quite right, since you have no idea which direction Landmolus will be moving once they pop out of the sand.
If I'm not mistaken, they have the means to do...
Oh, it looks like Ridge picked up a bottle at some point. I'm not sure where he got that from.
To do all 3 pendant dungeons. I believe a couple of them have killed one of each pendant, right? Yeah.
Ridge down in the bottom half of Misery Mire. Fortunately, since Lamp was so generous today, we don't have to worry about Lampless strats. Need to be careful about that trick with the Samaria. If the projectile goes off screen, it instantly despawns. So you need to make sure that it hits the switch before you move on. Our tracker is saying that the bottle was in the big chest in Desert Palace.
That is correct. There's a bottle of red potion.
Is it also possible that the flippers might be at the Fat Fairies fountain?
The flippers absolutely could be at the Fat Fairies fountain, yes.
Ridge fighting Vitreous. He has silver arrows though, so all the eyeballs go down in 1 shot, and Vitreous himself will go down in 2.
Vitreous, one of the few enemies, bosses or not, that will not go down 1 silver arrow shot.
Yes, other than Ganon, what are the others? I guess there's a red pendant. And Or was green? I believe we already heard that earlier. Wasn't it at Thieves Town?
It was at Thieves Town, yes.
Reg looks like he's heading to Palace of Darkness now. I believe he found the big key earlier, so good play. Numberplay checking Catfish.
Remember, for Ice Palace, logic does not count on you being able to do that bomb jump. So the fact that we're getting big keys and small keys for Ice Palace really is screaming to me that this may wind up being a pedestal seed. Reg's gonna go clean up Pod. And Number gonna check out the Bottle Kid.
Magic powder, I think that was.
I believe so, yes.
Which can itself lead to one more item.
It's also a wonderful safety item.
Yeah, so you can powder fairies to turn them into, or anti-fairies to turn them into fairies. You can also powder dead rocks that are still active to turn them into slimes. And of course, you can powder pickles to give them glasses. This is the most important thing to know.
I didn't know that about the dead rocks.
Yeah, I forget if Quake works on them too. You do have to hit them while they're still active, though. If you powder a dead rock that is frozen, it does not do anything. Unfortunately, the powder just leads to Abuse of Heart. Fairly stingy, considering how close they are to being in go mode. They don't have more than a row of hearts at this point.
They do have red males.
Yes, that does count for quite a lot. That is 50% damage reduction, I believe.
Yes. I believe to enter go mode, you would only need the flippers.
I think so. But who knows what they might need to get them. If they're at the tablets, they could need the Book of Medora. They might need the shovel if it's in the grove. Reg here is going to be heading to the Ermos Knights, but he has silver arrows, so it's going to be over very quickly. Don't blink. Oh, Solski taking a death in the basement of Misery Mire. That's very unfortunate. It's quite a long way to get back. That looks like Tempered Sword from the Armos Knights. For Reg.
Yes, that is a sword upgrade from Armos. That is very nice. Always nice to get a sword upgrade from an item you have to get.
Definitely handy, especially because it means don't need to worry about Master Sword strats for Ganon. Solski here attempting spin speed, but does not quite make it. For spin speed, you need to release a spin dash on the stairs, and then on the next frame, dash with the boots. If you do manage it perfectly, it is a frame-perfect trick in a, I believe, 30 FPS game. Then you will travel extremely fast when you're walking normally. 60 FPS, thank you.
A way easier method of this is the hook dash, where you can do the same thing with the hook shot.
Yes, the difference there is that you have to hook and dash on the same frame rather than one frame later. So if you claw grip your controller or some similar setup, it's a lot easier. Reg now heading into Palace of Darkness, Solski into Hera. So there'll be a couple dungeons we haven't seen the rewards for yet.
Reg has enough keys to finish off Pod.
Yep, he has the bow, he has the hammer, even has Samaria to save a little bit of time from the statue push. Pretty much everything he needs. Oh, there are the flippers in the map chest of
All right.
Hera, I believe.
That will eliminate the pedestal.
So, collectively, I think we have all the items we need, but no single runner has everything we need.
No one runner has go mode items yet. That's correct.
We have Numberplay checking the hookshot cave. Just 10 arrows, some bombs. Found some money in the first chest, and what was that? Oh, the red boomerang in the very last chest.
Right.
Yes, red boomerang for Numberplay. Ridge lining up a very precise arrow shot to hit that crystal switch. Solski, meanwhile, getting rid of Moldworm. He picked up something, but it was behind an explosion, so we may never know what it was.
It was just an arrow upgrade off of Molder.
Alright, nothing important then. Solski getting the dash that time. You saw him moving very quickly from the right side of Hera. You can only do that on stairs that do not force Link's movement, of course.
I'll talk about differences in routing. We have 2 people with fire swords and 1 person with the butter sword.
Yep, Butter Sword is very nice. It halves the number of hits you need to land on Ganon. Shreds a few bosses as well, since some bosses are immune to arrows, so even if you have silvers, it's not a free pass. Cold Stare, notably, who nobody has fought yet, has immunity to arrows. Numberplay heading up to Palace of Darkness, but does not have Kiki in tow. We'll have to go back and get him. Oh, Ridge found something interesting in that side chest. Was that the ice rod? So now he'll be able to go back and get Trinex. Which, hopefully he won't, because we know he doesn't have anything good. Meanwhile, dustsen is off towards Armos Knights. Again, he has the silver arrows, so this won't be a problem. Now, Numberplay has the ice rod as well. Still only the level 1 shield for everybody except dustsen, who has not gone to the key behind the graveyard yet. Unfortunately, it's not particularly important.
Solski at long last getting a 2nd sword.
He's killing off everything in this room.
Why?
Not sure. Looks like he has plenty of items, plenty of bombs and arrows. Maybe he was hoping for some hearts.
Maybe he's just blowing off some steam.
Very well could be. It did take him quite a long time to finally get that level 2 sword. Ridge here getting a short break while he waits for this wall to move. Another good chance to stretch your arms out a bit. Crack your knuckles.
Gotta enter this joke into the record. Corral, he writes, if he found a level 3 sword, I'd say he was throwing a tempered tantrum.
Terrible.
Dustsen now having the butter sword.
Looks like Ridge here, about to go fight King Helmosaur.
Solski getting his tempered sword.
Ridge bounced off the door, did not quite stop in time. So I believe it is 18 hammer hits to break this mask.
Yes.
But after that, it'll just be one single silver arrow.
17, actually.
Ah. However, Helmosaur King does like to move around quite a bit. Not even gonna bother. He has Butter Sword, so 2 slashes done.
Take less time than switching to the arrows in your menu.
Definitely. Good call. Just some money for his efforts now.
But of course, the crystal.
So we have Numberplay heading up to presumably Tower of Hera, and Dustsen is likely on his way there now as well, so they'll both get their flippers. Numberplay, unfortunately, still lacking the bow, which I believe was at the Bonk Cave?
That is correct, yes.
Remember trying some fire rod strats on this switch. There is a delay after the projectile hits the switch before it actually changes it. But timing's a little tight here.
Reg is in fairly good shape here.
Yep, he's got the super bomb. Gonna go check Fat Fairy. Solski clearing out this room. He'll get a chest for his efforts. Full heart container. At least we're finally getting into the second row of hearts now.
FireEye 882 just joined. Welcome. It is not the hunt for the hookshot. The hookshot has actually been found by one of our runners.
It is the flippers that seems to be holding up people most right now.
Where was the hookshot?
It was next to Blind in the basement of
Right.
Town. Nothing too impressive in the Fat Fairy Cave, map of Skullwoods, and a capacity upgrade for the arrows.
So none of these other runners have gone back to Thieves Town to check for the hookshot yet.
Yeah, I believe they went in there earlier before they had the big key to grab
Correct.
the 4 chests at the front.
And Solski opting not to bomb jump here. I guess if you think you need the hookshot, you're going to check every chest anyway. So
Well, he does have some Maria, so no need to do the bomb jump.
He
when you
doesn't
some Aria.
have any more keys.
Yes.
And there's a couple of keys and chests between him and...
But he can get the chest in the next room by killing both of the Freezors, and
Right.
He can check the big chest as well, because I think he has the big key. Just
I just
a
don't-
container.
I don't think there's enough keys laying around to let him full clear.
And a heart piece in the big chest. Does complete a heart container for him, though. Grabs that key from the pot, though. That'll get him a little bit further in. Dustsen taking out Moldworm with no problem. Since it goes down in, what, 2 swings of the Butter Sword?
Yes.
Yes. Moldworm has very high cholesterol. Small key to Gagon's
Tower.
Well, one of them finally showed up.
You did. There are keys on the ground, or quite a few keys on the ground actually on this one, but I do believe you need at least one.
Reg bumps into the ball. He's gonna talk to him for a little bit. Had some very inspiring words to share with us. Solski attempting a bomb jump goes a little bit too far off the ledge. Some of these can be quite precise, and this go just a little too far down the thing to go.
This is a particularly hard one.
Yes, I've never attempted this one. Obviously, these are particularly unpleasant because if you fail it, you get hit by the bomb, and you take a heart of damage from the pit as well. Numberplay going through Turtle Rock here. When he gets to the bridge, he will find his silvers. Hopefully he will find his bow in due time.
Well, you don't actually need a key at all in this if you're willing to mirror out and reset the dungeon.
Yeah. Solski passing up that chest. Perhaps he'll get it on his way back.
Oh, another red potion. For
have.
Yes, he'll almost certainly go back and get that chest.
Right, attempting the bomb jump to the big chest of Hera.
The Book of Medora at this point, it's actually pretty useful because it gets you 2 items from the tablets.
Yes, but if they're not necessary, the book could easily show up somewhere like Ganon's Tower.
It was just found in the Ice Palace big chest.
Kalalik, I don't think Numberplay is that far behind, but he did take a very different route from the other players.
Numberplay is the only one with the hook shot.
Reg falling out of Moldworm, unfortunately, got bounced around a bit. Only falls down 1 floor at least. You really don't want to fall into that hole there.
I would argue that once Numberplay wraps up these dungeons, he might be a little bit ahead, actually.
Oh. Does that count as commentator's curse? Reg falling into the hole in the middle of Moldworm, just to show us why you don't want to do that. You fall down 2 floors.
Still not the biggest time loss.
Yeah, when you have boots to dash back across, you're fine.
Yeah, the hookshot being next to blind, it makes this whole thing interesting because they know it is a pendant. So they're probably not going to check that until the last possible second.
It is the green pendant, so it's a little bit more appealing than the others.
Yeah, it'll be the first pendant you check.
Solski checking the Bombo's tablet. What did he get? Let's see. Just some money. Who even needs money? Solski gonna grab some magic potions here at the witch's shop.
Podcast, where was the bow and the silvers? The bow I'm not sure about. The silvers were on the laser bridge at Turtle Rock.
Solski causing a bit of vandalism here at the shop as well, throwing bombs all over the place.
Bow was in the bunk rocks by the sanctuary.
Yes, so Numberplay does have the boots. He'll be able to check it. He just has to remember to do so.
Numberplay about to get silver arrows.
Yep, they're on the very bottom chest on the laser bridge. Solski heading to Hyrule Castle. Is he gonna go cash in that Aghanim's Tower key?
There are 2 chest locations now in Aghanim's Tower. They aren't particularly hard to get to.
Numberplay trying to get past these lasers. With very good timing, you can sneak past them because only the very front of the laser actually has a hurt marks on it. Obviously, if you have Cape or the Lucane, that's a good way to do it. Opts to play it safe since he didn't take the safety exit, and a good thing too. So good call there.
Aghanim's Tower, you're gonna see him open the second chest, and you're gonna see him exit very quickly.
Meanwhile, dustsen finds just a mere 5 rupees in the big chest of Skullwoods.
Reg is going all the way back in for Trinex. That's gonna hurt.
Numberplay taking another fall, trying to get those silvers. Gonna opt for a bit of safety here, just in case. Because if he gets hit by a laser and falls off, he'll be dead. And he's out of potions. Or he might get knocked in by a beetle. That is also unfortunate.
Silver arrows?
Yep. dustsen showing us the hammer dash tutorial.
Oh, he would be just better off. Oh no, he's gonna leave.
Alright.
Alright.
He mightn't have realized that that's a pendant dungeon and is deciding not to do it, which is a good call. He doesn't know that, but... so what dustsen was doing there was the hammer dash. If you... This is a Japanese 1.0 exclusive glitch. If you dash and use an item on the same frame, you get certain different effects depending what the item is. In the hammer's case, you dash forward and you knock down all pegs that you go over while in that state. So quite useful for getting rid of all those pegs at once. There's Numberplay getting his bow with those silvers that he just picked up. Solski, I guess he's heading into Swamp Palace and is setting up the water gate to let him through. He does not have the hook shot, though, so he's going to be quite disappointed.
Dustsen is about to get his hook shot.
Yep, as soon as he gets down to the basement. Fortunately, we know he can't possibly miss that one, since it's in a required area. He'll be skipping the big chest as well, though, since he doesn't have a small key. It could very well be that the small key to Thieves Town is the one that's on the Lumberjack's cave.
Right. There's a bottle in Swamp Palace, the third bottle. For Solski.
Yep, Solski using a hammer dash to go through those pots.
Boy, Solski's about to run out of room in Thieves Town. Not Thieves Town, in Swamp Palace.
Yep, he'll be able to get the chest at the bottom.
I believe he got the big key? I'm not sure.
He can check the big chest, but without the hook shot, he won't be able to go into the back half, and I think it's a crystal dungeon.
No.
Reg cleaning out Trinex, not much trouble, since he has the butter sword.
But the sword makes a lot of this game much easier.
Yes, obviously normally you have to wait until you're about to do a Purple Rock to get it, but you can find it quite early here.
Sol's gonna check the bottom chest, and then he's gonna be out of ideas, I believe.
I think he can check the couple chests, or one
on the left.
On the left, yeah.
You can actually, you can check both chests on the left.
Yes, but it requires an extra cycle without the hook shot.
It's no fun.
Yes. Unfortunately, although we know it's an exercise in futility, he does not. So it's a fairly good idea. Swamp Palace has quite a lot of global item chests, even normally, and obviously Keysanity makes that even more of a lucrative prospect. Numberplay perhaps forgetting that he has the bow since he didn't have it for so long. Dustsen taking out a bit of frustration on that hookshot chest there. Dustsen has the hookshot now.
I do believe that puts Dustsen into gold.
I believe you're right.
Well, depending on his keys, of course.
Well, he would have already gotten the big Ganon's Tower big key from Thieves' Town the first time he went through.
Is there enough keys for pods, is my question. Which is just a key either.
Numberplay getting himself Tempered Sword. Where was the fourth sword upgrade?
Yeah, Palace of Darkness.
Okay.
It's in the bat chest, I believe.
Numberplay getting a crystal while Dustsen gets the green pendant. Was he going to go pull the pedestal? He does have all three pendants. And he is in Kakariko, which is quite close. Nope, he's summoning the bird. Wise choice. Meanwhile, Solski got a full heart from the chest on the left side there. Gotta come back up and get the right one. Oh, yeah, there's the butter sword.
Number is highly out of keys, unfortunately. So he will need to come back later.
Yes, finally got to see the item on Zorledge. Looks like a compass is somewhere, so nobody's gonna bother go getting that. Numberplay off to check Aganon.
I believe there is a Palace of Darkness key in Ganon.
Solski getting the big key to Thieves' Town, so he'll likely be off to go get his hookshot soon.
Question from chat: favorite game without thinking? Link to the Past.
I'm gonna have to say Fire Emblem. Although Link to the Past is definitely a favorite of mine.
I wouldn't have beaten this game in some variation 45 times in a month if I didn't like this game a lot.
Definitely agree there. It's Randomizer is a nice way to make an old experience new again in many new and excitingly trolly ways.
By any chance, while they're retracing each other's steps, by any chance are you familiar with the Fire Emblem Randomizer?
Yes, I am. I've tried it a little bit. There's a very full feature there. You can customize all kinds of things. I've also played the Llama Lana Randomizer, which is as bad an idea as it sounds.
It sounds like a pretty bad idea.
It is the worst idea. And the Super Metroid Randomizer as well, which I believe Speed Gaming has shown off more than once.
But this is the granddaddy of them all in terms of randomizers at this point. This is the main event at AGDQ next year.
Yes, that'll be very exciting to see.
This is, in fact, I believe, replacing the Metroid race.
Something replace the Metroid race? Impossible.
They don't have it.
But what will we vote to save or kill? Ganon?
I think the big money one's going to be the validation chest.
Hmm.
Well, it's not going to draw. Nothing will ever draw as much money as the save or kill.
So Reg here is attempting the Ice Palace bomb jump. This one's quite precise, but definitely the most useful to learn when you're starting out, because Ice Palace is terrible and nobody likes it.
The book, I believe, was in Desert Palace?
Has anybody found a book? Oh yeah, Solski found a book. I did not catch where he got that from.
I believe it was in Desert Palace.
Are you sure? Quite a lot of people have done it. I'll have to defer to our trackers for
it
that
might
one.
be... Maybe it's Meyer?
It might be Meyer.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, trying to keep track of 4 of these is difficult enough when it's
With
not
everything
Keysanity.
randomized. I don't know, it doesn't... It's... I did see Solski check all the tablets, and there wasn't really anything significant on them.
Yeah, there was just money from Lumbo's tablet. I didn't see the Ether one.
And the pedestal was, I believe Solski may have given it a check, and
No, I don't think anybody has checked pedestal yet.
Okay. We know it's not an important item.
Numberplay thinking for a moment about where to go next. Because what is he missing? He's missing the flippers.
Oh, that's right. No, Dustin actually, I think, might have pulled the pedestal, didn't he?
He might have. Yes, okay. Yes, we're hearing confirmation. It was checked 20 minutes ago. Furry mirror plus 10 arrows.
Yeah.
Dustin here, moving the statue on there. You have to do that. You can't use some Mario strats because the block will despawn if you leave the screen, or as soon as it scrolls off screen. FireEye 882. Yes, there is an entrance randomizer. There are various different settings that will randomize the dungeons and caves, shuffle them around a bit.
Oh, Solski a little frustrated at the hookshot location. See a bunch of sword slashes.
There's a link in the chat there for the web version of the randomizer that was used to generate the seed you're seeing run right before your very eyes. Looks like we have one forfeit so far. Took quite a while, but perhaps he got a little bit frustrated by where that hookshot ended up, or maybe the bow.
By the way, if you're just joining us, these are not our only 4 racers. There's actually about 30 more racers in this. This is open to all these races.
Yep, Speed Gaming is hosting these daily races throughout the entire month of December. There's one at 2 p.m. Eastern, one at 8 p.m., and one at 11 p.m. Eastern every day for the rest of December. Except on Saturdays where they take over the standard weekly. Dustin here fighting Argus. Popcorn monster.
You can join the next one at 11. There's one in about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yes, I think that's an open, is it?
It's a pure open.
Pure open.
So in case you don't, because that term is new to you, there are 2 modes to do the standard and open. Open is run more, at least lately by far. Standard starts you with the typical rescuing Zelda from the dungeon and walking through and getting a sword and shield right away.
Yeah, the Uncle always has a sword and shield in standard.
Open, on the other hand, starts you with the question, do you want to start at Link's House and Sanctuary, and you got nothing.
So you might go swordless for quite some time. Reg, for some reason, ducking out of the room above Cold Stare. Guess he's hoping for some more cards. Or magic.
Magic.
Yeah, he needs magic, because he doesn't
need a full magic bar to do that.
And no green potions either.
Yep.
You can actually break it with less than full magic if you are also at full health. Sword beams will damage the ice immediately after you hit him with the fire rod. Numberplay, unfortunately, taking a death in Misery Mire, so he'll be ducking out, apparently.
Once he clears the ice, the rest of this will be no problem with the Mother Sword.
Yeah. They spread out a bit, but he did get a hit on all three of them at the beginning. Very nicely done.
What's important to note is that spin attacks with the Mother Sword don't actually do more damage. There is no real reason to do that. But a sword
Well,
is
it can
much
be a
damage
little bit
against.
easier to land a hit.
Yeah.
Same reason that people usually use spin attacks to deflect Aganom's attacks. So Reg still needs the hookshot. He's not in go mode yet.
No, he's going to need to go back to
Thieves
Town.
Town.
And the question is, will he do it? Because he still has Swamp left.
And it's a Pendant Dungeon. So is he going to gamble on it being in there? Nope, he's going to Thieves Town.
Well, he's going to Thieves Town. No. He's checking the sick kid first. I think he has some more locations to check first.
Not a bad move, a lot faster. Gets some magic powder. He might cash that in first.
He will certainly cash that in first.
So yes, Reg has the magic powder now. Numberplay on his way up Tower of Hera. He will find the flippers in front of the big chest, which will put him in go mode, I believe. Solski draining the water. He might go south. Check the two chests down there. They're pretty free.
If he hasn't already.
Question in the chat, are we in Kigo mode? I believe we're in Kigo mode, at least for Ganon's Tower, because we found Ganon's Tower Big Key in Thieves Town quite some time ago. And we found a few small Ganon's Tower keys since then.
Solski's in Kigo mode, I'm almost certain.
Everybody definitely has the big key at this point. Numberplay, there is a very narrow window you can dash past that bumper. Unfortunately, he missed it a little bit. Maybe he'll get it this time. Let's see. There you go. First was just a warm-up.
Pretty sure Solski has the pod big key. Okay, we have people finishing in the SRL race. Mr. Barry Bonds just finished first place at a time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Very nice. We have PB for them too. Solski taking out Argus with a single silver arrow.
And Reg investigating Skull Woods. I'd be very disappointed.
But Mothula has a crystal, so... Or did he already complete that? Looks like he's going to go check the pedestal since he has the book.
There are about 25, 26 runners in this race, by the way.
I think it was 29. But I could be wrong. Reg finds out that just to compare arrow capacity upgrade. Numberplay heading into Swamp Palace. If he realizes he's in go mode, he may be able to skip quite a lot of it.
Solski probably does realize he's in go mode.
Dustsen here showing the uses of being able to shoot through moving blocks with a hookshot. You can actually grab those walls behind it and just go straight through the blocks so that you get to the big key or big chest without having to come in from above. Solski attempting the Ice Palace bomb jump. You need to push yourself right up against the wall above, and then align it so the top of Link's sword is a 1 pixel gap between it and the bottom of the bomb shadow.
It's an incredibly popular bomb jump, especially in go mode.
It's also a major part of the any percent route for the vanilla game. It saves you so much time, since you don't actually need the big key to get into Cold Stare.
It is a major part of the 100% route as well. Because the 100% route, you don't actually need the blue mail to be considered 100%. You just need the top item in the slot.
Yep, so you really need to go get the red mail after you get the Ganon's Tower big key.
Lori the Beaver asks, what does the pendant with the asterisk mean? That means that is the green pendant, which can be turned into at Sarashala to get an item.
Ooh, Solski doing an excellent Cold Stare fight.
Great.
Knocking all three of them right into the corner, hitting them all at once. Ridge here, about to get his hookshot. He's the last player to not have it of the ones we were featuring, so he'll be good to go after this, I think. That Red Horseman there, out for Ridge's blood, though. Just coming straight up after him.
Reg is in great shape. Reg now has the hookshot. All you need to do is do Swamp Palace.
Ditches blind at the entrance. No need to complete it since it's a pendant dungeon, and he should know he's in go mode.
If you are curious about Link to the Past Randomizer, we do have a Discord. So everybody so kind to post that in the chat. The Link to the Past Randomized Discord, it's open to all. Lots of resources, lots of race planned casual races.
Yeah, good place to learn basics of randomizer speedrunning, or just randomizer in general. Numberplay almost perfectly picking off all the outer popcorns first. Butter sword slashes will do it. You can also see Solski using Keysanity Mario to save the statue push. Numberplay completing Swamp Palace. Well done.
The chat's linked to our Discord.
Getting back in for some reason.
He didn't do the left side chest, I don't believe.
Yeah, he doesn't
Why
need to, though.
does he want to do those, though?
May simply not realize that he has everything he needs yet. Since there are still quite a few holes in his inventory, it's just a matter of realizing that they're not essential.
He's even at Butter Sword and Silver Arrows. I don't know.
Dustsen taking down King Helmscore without much trouble. And Solski right behind him.
It is true that we're missing a lot of stuff, but it's really like...
This was a very stingy seed early on.
But they're all quality of life out and or fetch quest items at this point.
Yeah, and the mushroom obviously being one, the other two medallions, shovel, blue key and cape. Sorry, blue cane and cape. Dustsen spending some of his vast sums of cash on a few potions for safety. Since they haven't found half magic, that would be another good safety for them to have.
Well, I think if you would if you knew what you're looking for,
Yep.
you might be checking this for half magic, but that wouldn't be worth the time, right?
Maybe. We have a couple more people who have finished. Monasi has finished in second place, 156.38. Sigma, third place, 156.43. And Killer App just finished with 156.57 in fourth place. Dustsen showing an excellent use of hookshot to get through that area. If you hook yourself into the block on the right, since those two blocks are not quite aligned, you can land on top of the block and then simply hop off it to the right. Saves you having to switch to the mirror to delete the block. Dustsen here is now heading to Ganon's Tower, which is more or less the same as it always is.
And as is Solski, but you're going to see a lot less of it.
Yep.
This will be a very standard top of Ganon's Tower, followed by a very easy gang kill.
Yeah, basement is close to renovation today.
I don't believe you're going to see sub 2 hours for either of these guys. I just think it's going to take too much time to get up there.
Yeah, even the Ganon fight alone would probably push them over 2 hours at this point. Yeah, both heading straight up. No need to even bother with the basement today.
They have 2 and 3 keys respectively. More than enough.
Yep, you always need at least one, unless you're feeling lucky. There are a couple chests at the top that could hold a key, but if they don't, it's a very long way back up if you need to come around again.
Even because Keysanity, you don't have to open a single chest to get a key.
Well, not any chests here anyway.
Or anywhere. It's there's one key under a pot in the first room.
Yep, just go to the left, the conveyor room.
Right. This is a pretty close high five for both Dustsen and Solski.
Yeah, they're both in pretty much the same area.
Reg not far behind them, by the way, heading up the Ganon's Tower now. Numberplay still needs to wrap up Palace of Darkness and Ice Palace.
Yep. Dustsen going for medallion stress in the gauntlet here. Solski just heading on through. They both have the same amount of heart containers as well. If you do want a medallion, these rooms, Bombos is the medallion of choice.
Kills them rather instantly instead of you having to clean up.
Precisely, because Quake will just turn them into slimes, or stun them, and Ether will freeze them.
Or I think in some of these enemies, the Quake won't work.
Yeah, that's also true. Solski, once again, perfect archery against...
Really nice silver arrows.
Yep. And Dustsen, the same. Dustsen overtaking Solski. We're gonna grab some more arrows. Some Aria strats in this room. The wizards are lined up perfectly that you can hit them all with a block. Another couple people have finished. Big Dunka in 5th place with 1:58.48, and Jet082 in 6th place with 2 hours 30 seconds flat. That room that Ridge just went through, easiest key dash in the game. You just have to not press any buttons as you're coming in the door, and then dash right away, and you're already lined up for it. Solski very low on magic here, but fortunately there's a full magic in the next room.
That there is. Right under that right pot.
Which he does not elect to get.
Okay.
Okay, just use a potion.
Just use a blue potion. Hey, you got red mail and you get a butter sword you're not going to need for damn.
Yeah. Dustsen here, going through the room with 2 chests. Doesn't need either of them. In some very rare cases, there might be a key in there that you need, but not today. So, Solski and Dustin, neck for neck here.
We're almost perfect synced.
Solski taking out Moldworm, and so does Dustin. As mentioned before, you can't open the menu while there are explosions going on, so you need to wait.
Oh, Solski does not check the validation quest. He's going to Dairy Queen.
Dustin does, and finds the small key to Thieves Town, so if he really wanted to, he could go back and get the big chest, but that's not going to happen. Dustin there showing that in the J1.0, if you have the hookshot out, you cannot actually be damaged by anything. Might very well see that in the Ganon fight too.
That is perfect sync.
Alright, Ganon 2. How many blue balls are we going to see today? Solski doing a
swag
net dash. Very nice. Got
Very
a nice
nice.
triple there, I think. Oh, blue ball. It's just an item dash with the bug net, press dash, and use item on the same frame. Oh, lines up for a perfect triple here, and Ganon 2 is down. Same for Dustin. This is going to be very close.
Wait, the item dash same frame thing sounds more impressive than it really is. It's really not hard to hit A and Y with a claw at the same time.
Yeah, much easier than the spin dash, which is a one frame
right
between inputs. You kind of have to slide your thumb from one button to the other. Yes, revolving ocelot in the randomizer modes. The blue balls are potentially random, but everybody gets the same pattern.
Same goes for here. The Ganon teleports.
Oh, yeah, both of them Ganon at the same time. This is extremely close. Dustin and Solski both getting behind Ganon so that when they hit him, they get knocked back into the wall, and they are right in place for another hit. Dustin again showing how to negate damage with the hookshot. And he's in phase 3 for Dustin, not quite for Solski. I believe you need 12 hits for that with the Butter Sword?
I believe so.
So what they're going to be trying to get here is the torch glitch. If you manage to light the torch on the left before the torch on the right goes out, the torch on the right never goes out. That saves a lot of magic, especially when you don't have half magic, and lets you use the fire rod. Unfortunately, Dustin misses it. He was busy going for the hit. Not as big a deal when you have silvers, though.
Yeah, when you have silvers, you won't need to hit the torches enough to.
It's more important for silverless.
Takes a lot longer for silverless. Oh wait,
Solski got it. Ooh, a triple. Oh, Solski gets a triple on again.
Solski
finishes
up,
right next to each other.
And Dustin finishes up as well. We have 2:05:01 for Dustin and 2 hours.
2:05:04 for Solski, so a 3-second difference in their SRL times.
You know what? That 3 seconds difference was the validation chest.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Worth it.
The seed apologizing to our runners, as it probably should.
And Korek finishes in 9th place, 205.35.
The seed was a little more than cruel at the beginning.
Yes. As noted, there were a couple deaths for Solski to Trinex. He persisted. Saltation's homecoming in the credits today. Since nobody really knows how to pronounce his name. Another dot done. Alucard 2004, 10th place, 206.36. Oh, Ridge is fighting Ganon here. Also, like the Aghanim Blue Balls, the number of times Ganon teleports each phase before he lets you hit him, that is random, but the same for all runners. Reg unfortunately misses the torch glitch, but he has silver, so it's not as big a deal.
Alright, I believe we're going to pull in some of our runners. Then we're going to pull in dustsen for a short interview. I'm trying to see if we can get Solski.
Ooh, Reg. Oh, Reg takes a death on Ganon. That's extremely unfortunate. No fairies.
No fairies, no.
Meanwhile, reminder that the witch is buying the best drugs today. Reg is just gonna hop in there. Second time. Since they have red mail, Ganon's attacks will only do 2 hearts of damage. But it adds up quick. Light here finishes in 11th place, 208.34. Numberplay there was showing the item dash using the boots and hookshot on the same frame while on the stairs.
And we're welcoming in dustsen, person who among our 4 racers finished first.
Welcome, Dustsen.
Hello!
It was actually second among our 4 run. No, was it?
Nope, 3 seconds ahead of Solski.
Correct. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, really close.
So this was kind of a rough seed in the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't really give you much at the beginning, I would say. I was chasing the whole overworld for stuff to, yeah, progress.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull Solski in here as well. So how'd you feel when you finally found that hook shot at the very end of the Green Pendant dungeon?
I don't know, I had kind of a feeling that Thiefstone will be hiding something as soon as I found a big key for it. So, yeah, that was kind of a relief. Going in there first before I do Swamp. But that small key import. I shouldn't have used the last small key.
We are now also being joined by Solski, who finished second among our 4 showcase racers.
Welcome, Solski, and congratulations.
Hi, guys.
We have a time for Reg as well. Reg just finished in 12th place, 2:10:19.
Right on. I hated that seed.
It has a very.
Yeah, that was a rough seed.
Isn't it?
Probably shouldn't have been rough. I mean, I tilted off the face of the earth when I died 3 times to Trinex, or twice, sorry. And then it got just progressively worse when I found Master Sword in the Eastern Palace big chest. Yeah.
I wonder what you were doing there.
A long time, I believe.
Oh, I was so mad. Because that would have at least made the fight a lot safer with the ice head. If I did miss a hammer, which I did on the first 2 attempts. And then I could have just slashed him and made up the hammer and I would have still killed him, but I didn't. And then, yeah, I had to kill myself twice.
Yeah, running out of magic is no fun.
Right. And for a guy that likes to practice like swordless and hammerless Trinex, that was a little tilting, so it happens.
Joining us as well is our 3rd place runner of our showcase runners, Reg.
Hey,
Congratulations.
I've got 2 words for that seed. Screw Ganon.
Oh yeah, that was a rough Ganon fight.
Yeah, I had potions in stock when I died the first time, but I didn't actually expect to get the last hit. So, it's a shame, because I've been getting better at that. Oh well.
It's probably the hardest part of the game, honestly, in terms of execution, is that Ganon fight.
Yeah. Oh well. I've been practicing it, and sometimes it just doesn't come through. Other than that, cool seed.
So we can never play who is at this point on a refight of Lamos.
You mean Lamos 2?
Lamos 2, yes.
I don't know how I pulled that off, but I did.
So for our runners here, start with Dustin. What did you say was your best play during that run?
The hammer fight with Trinex. That
Yeah,
went really well. The practice paid off. On the other hand, Cold Stare didn't pay off. I butchered it. But I thought that should be 5 seconds.
Solski, what would you say was your best play during that run?
I would say everything before Trinex, because then everything afterwards was like, okay, great.
If I might put one in for you, your Cold Stare fight was one of the cleanest I've ever seen.
Thanks.
Yeah, you had a perfect Cold Stare fight. Knocked him right into the corner, no problem.
Yeah, I was just, like I said, like it was getting pretty bad. I started forgetting about locations. That's why I probably did, what was it, Sick Kid and Zora's Kingdom so late. And then I got the Big Key for Thieves, and then that led to Hookshot, and that was like, oh, excuse me. That was like awesome. So, and then of course, Ice. What was it? Cold Stare led to the small key that I was looking for Pod, which coincidentally enough I didn't have to do unless if I skipped the chest. But I mean that's hindsight 2020, right?
Of course, yeah. And Reg, what about you? What do you think was your best move during the run?
I'm trying to remember where a lot of things were, but if I remember right, I went into Turtle Rock real early, and I think I found the boots in Mimic Cave. Am I remembering that right?
Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah. Most of like the first hour and a half of the seed is all running together. It did when I started just looking around randomly for the hook shot. But yeah.
Yeah,
I think biggest thing I didn't visit the Turtle Rock Vanilla Big Key. That's gotta be the best thing I did this run. Because I am horrifically bad about checking that chest. By complete accident.
Oh, I was really close to blind putting the pedestal.
saw a couple people go check it. Turned out to just be an arrow capacity upgrade, though.
If I haven't found the hookshot there, I would have totally blindfolded.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of safety items that just decided not to show. There was no cane for anybody.
Want to bet one of those was in the Thieves Town big chest?
It could very well be, because nobody got the key into that room until again.
That was the validation chest. I checked it.
And only found the level 1 key behind the graveyard, so...
There's a 3-second difference. Solski, I believe you checked the validation check and dustsen didn't.
Yeah, it was just the arrows in there.
I opened the validation
Oh, you
chest.
opened the validation check. Oh, it was reversed then.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about pedestals, sorry.
No.
Did you guys have fun watching that?
It was very fun,
Who's there,
especially
Terrace?
watching Dustsen and Solski at the end there. You're neck and neck for most of Ganon's tower. So, you can see now there was an in-game time difference of only 21 seconds.
The in-game timer is questionable, to say the least.
Yeah, it won't increment when you save and quit.
Yeah. Is that the only thing that causes it to stop, or?
Is it affected by lag?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay, that makes more sense.
We have Numberplay here doing his Ganon fight. It was probably quite a relief to find the Ganon's tower big key so early.
That one in particular, I just assume it'll come up at some point when I play Keysanity. But sometimes it doesn't, and those are the fun seeds.
Some value of fun.
Ooh.
Yes.
Number's almost getting a triple.
Getting a little trolled by Ganon here. He missed his
Yeah.
arrow, and now he has to go another cycle. That shouldn't be a problem. Yep, there we go. Ganon's down.
Got it. Alright.
We have his SRL race time finishing 2:18:04.
That'll conclude things for our trackers, at least. We give a big shout out to Corrality and Dawning Arc.
Yep, they did a fantastic job.
Stick around, we'll do a brief interview of Numbers if I can get him in here. And here he comes. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. But if I had to do a wrong decision, I did it, and it wasted a lot of time.
I think of our 4 featured runners, though, you found the flippers before anybody else did.
Welcome.
Hello.
Shot
And-
wait for everybody else did.
Yeah,
Well,
welcome and
for the hook shot,
congratulations.
I had to do the
Thank you.
fake flippers. My god. If I had to do a wrong decision, I did it. Waterfall. Wasted a lot of time. So yeah, the fake
I think
flipping,
of our 4
kind
featured
of,
runners, though, you found the flippers before anybody else did.
it actually, yeah,
Hook
and
shot wait for everybody else did.
How can I say?
well, I was taking what was blocked by flippers because I did a sequence break with it. And when I found the hookshot inside Thieves Town, I knew it was locked behind flippers. So that's one of the main reasons I went to Misery Mire.
Yeah. What would you say was your best play over the course of that run?
I think the hookshot early was really great because weapon and it helps a lot.
Yeah, I think one of our other runners went into Swamp Palace without the hook shot and was very disappointed not to find it. Had to come back later.
Yeah,
That was me.
really disappointed in this round is opening all the doors in, but
Yeah. How were
I
you
lost
when you found that small key in the lumberjack cave?
had that in my mind all this time. I was like, please don't make me
Yeah, that,
me
please
feel
don't
like
be
an
one
imp.
of they need for from a rock or something.
Yeah, nobody picked it up, so it was presumably Ganon's tower key. But it's quite a thing to find when you're on your initial loop of the world. The early Titan Smiths was also a pretty nice find. Do you think you found those?
Also finding all 3 swords upgrades in a row. That was really great.
Yeah.
After spending so long on the fighter sword, yeah. Somebody else finished. Strumpet Playa, 19th place with 221.43.
Yeah, I think we're. Did everybody have fun? It's the most important question for this race, really.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little bit of a rough scene in the beginning, but those rough scenes in the beginning tend to lead to very fast go modes like this one did.
Yeah, it was at least nice enough to give us a red mail really early.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was a really good item to get.
Any
Also-
Keysanity where I don't troll myself by wasting keys is a good thing. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that's something you just gotta figure out through practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about skipping a chest in Palace of Darkness, but for the flippers at that point.
Yeah, we had been speculating that they might actually be at the pedestal.
Yeah, we were saying that because there's a lot of signs pointing towards a pedestal run, considering how many items were pulling you into those dungeons.
The thing is that boots in Mimic Cave, it was impossible to get Mire without flippers because the hookshot was in Thieves Town.
And the key was.
And the big key was in the waterfall.
Yep.
So yeah, boots in Mimic Cave, Mire would have been locked.
Alright, I think that will about do it for our featured racers at the 8 o'clock Keysanity. We need to start setting up for the 11 p.m. open race. Will also be featured here on Speed Gaming 2. Big shout outs to all our featured runners. I'm going to link them in chat. Follow them at Reg, Solski, Numberplay, and Dustsen.
Yep, and anybody who's watching, these races are continuing daily for the rest of December. They are completely open. Anybody of any skill level is welcome to join.
Also, please make sure you follow our trackers, twitch.tv/Corrali, twitch.tv/DawningArc. We would not be able to keep track of, as you can hear from us, we could not keep track of anything, so without them we would have been totally lost.
Yes, they did an excellent job at keeping us straight.
Make sure to follow Code Lizard, twitch.tv/TheCodeLizard.
And of course, Ridley Dragon as well, at twitch.tv/Ridley Dragon.
Right. Hang out here for half an hour, don't go anywhere. We will have more Link to the Past randomized for you at 11 p.m.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to play it because my execution goes down the toilet after 11 or so, but
I might enter that one. What do you think? What do you think, Code? You want to enter that one?
do it.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it might be pretty good.
Do it.
Okay, you've convinced me.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right.
See you there.
Awesome.
Oh, Corrali's Twitch is a Corrali, not Corrality.
Yes, sorry, I need to get that straightened out.
And good everybody.
That'll about do it for us. So thank you everybody for coming, and have yourselves a good night. And be sure to show up to watch the open race in about half an hour.